Hey guys,
I'm Hallee,
and I'm Jamie.
and this is Literal Nonsense.
Hey guys.
Hello.
So we're gonna be much happier.
Order up 2 deluxe Krabby Patties.
You also said the same thing 2 episodes ago?
Did I?
You might have.
Probably. The same thing cycle continuously in my head.
Right, like it reminds you of it and then like, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what that is, but...
I love it. I love it. So we're gonna be much more enthusiastic than we have been the last 8
episodes.
7?
Not even. No, like 4.
Yeah.
Powerless was fine.
Yeah, okay, fine.
Reckless was meh.
Okay, so it's fine. But we are really excited. We kind of plan to cover new releases much sooner than we actually end up covering them.
It's
But
always months later, bro.
I think it's just we're vibing. We're not on anyone's agenda right now.
This is true.
We're enjoying the phase we are in.
We make our own rules.
Right. Until you guys require us to produce quicker.
Once we're actually, like, people know who we are.
We're just building our library.
Yeah.
Of episodes. But we are excited to cover the Hunger Games, so it still was somewhat recently that Sunrise on the Reaping came out.
When did it come out? May?
Yeah, maybe April or May, but that's fine. It's only been 2 months. It's not like it's holy shit. It's a year later, you know. So when that book was like slotted to come out, we decided we were gonna reread the Hunger Games.
Yeah.
We mentioned briefly at the end of last episode. Honestly, if you didn't get to the end of last episode, don't blame you. Totally fine. Like the order we want to read this in. So I think we are gonna publish chronologically, but we're gonna do this like fun little idea, which is that I'm gonna read them chronologically. So I will read them: Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, Sunrise on the Reaping, then the main trilogy. How are you reading them, Hallee?
I'm gonna read them Songbirds and Snakes, Hunger Games, Catching Fire, Mockingjay, and end with Sunrise.
Right. So Hallie's a speed reader, which is why she's kind of picking this fun little...
Yeah, like for me, I feel like I could do that. Like that's doable for me.
Agreed.
Because I could finish that within a week.
Also, they're rereads,
Yeah,
so, you know.
And stand it all. And the trilogy itself, they're not thick.
Right, no.
They're like 300 pages, right?
So also, that being said, go into this recording kind of how you used to go into ACOTAR or Crescent City, things like that.
Can we just announce, finally, first draft of ACOTAR 6 is done?
Yeah, that was big news this past
Slams
week.
laptop till fucking next year, I guess.
Yeah, who knows. Hopefully publication and, like, editing don't take...
I literally was just telling someone, who was it? One of my friends I haven't seen in a really long time. She's like, oh, I just started ACOTAR. I said, girl, don't even... I said, don't even fucking read them. I'm so over it. And then the next day, it was like, oh, finish the first draft. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, I'll probably reread them, honestly.
Really?
Maybe.
I'm not.
I'll see how...
I'm
I'll
telling
see
you
when
now,
it comes out.
I'm not
Okay,
doing
totally
it.
fine.
I'm not doing it.
I'll see when it comes out, I guess, is also realistic.
Unless this new book, like, reinvigorates my love for the series. Otherwise, I'm not.
I feel like the first trilogy, like the main trilogy, was still 5 stars all around.
That was fine, yeah. But then she started fucking
Right.
messing
It
around.
depends on what this book gives. Yes, agreed. So that's big news in the bookish community. So now also as far as these books as well, again, not that there's really a timeline for this, but Hallee and I also discussed like doing bonus episode movie versus book kind of reviews.
I feel like they would just be fun, like just like periodically, just to throw in.
Well, right, and that was kind of, we had done that for what, Pet Sematary?
Yeah.
So that is our goal and our ideas. We want to eventually do bonus episodes for you guys watching the movie. So
'cause why not?
Yeah, it's like fun. That'll probably be eventually when we do like a Patreon kind of like
That'd be
thing.
sick.
Those will be our episodes that, you know, are for our members. Something that we might be doing whenever, but just something to mention, because for this series, obviously...
I'm gonna assume they're gonna make a Sunrise movie.
They already cast it. And casting is crazy good.
Wait, really?
Like, stupid good. Like, people were online on Facebook. Like, I was like, I don't know, I interacted with one of the posts about it.
Mm-hmm.
So then, like, I just kept getting, like, every...
algorithm, yeah.
And literally people were like, did they take our fan casts and just make them... Like, it was that good.
Okay, so now here's my fucking question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they're doing so great with Sunrise, no big deal, movie's gonna be great, I'm sure. Why does every other series just fucking flop? Why did ACOTAR flop?
I think probably because, like, The Hunger Games is already a series, you know what I'm saying? So it's like they already have the fan base, all this stuff. Not
but
saying
even
that...
the movies, like,
right.
Honestly, not gonna lie. For example, Hunger Games, like, movie-wise, I felt like was still pretty solid, even though, like, the movies differ a little bit from the books.
Yes.
Whereas, like, Divergent, for example, first movie was fine, but the rest of them were trash.
I would agree with that.
You know what I mean? And it's like, why?
Yeah, I don't know. And I think also, but back when, like...
I don't know, Lord of the Rings was great, Hobbit was great.
But back when we were younger, like high school, middle school, whatever, when all this was happening...
we were young. Yes.
Perfect. It was like... movies like got turned out quick. Now they could do a series, a limited episode. Like,
well, because now it's all like a marketing scheme.
correct.
You know, like I feel like there's way too many people in the know at all times. Whereas like when we were younger, social media wasn't that big. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
And it wasn't the machine that it is today.
Correct. I think that's what the problem is.
You know, like it wasn't used as like a way for spreading information. It was just to, like, post your life.
I'm also gonna assume, hear me out, but if, like, SJM is smart, and, like, these big series that are coming out, you also want to, like, have them almost sign up for, like, Harry Potter-length contracts. Because it's, like, you can't be having Feyre be like, just kidding. Like, that'll ruin the whole thing.
And then, like, recast her halfway through. Yeah.
So it's, like, it's longer. Like, at this point, right, Hunger Games was done pretty quick. It was the 3 books. Yeah. Now it's, like, going back in time. It is a new cast.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter.
Right, and also, like, she's not done.
She's not? She's still writing?
I mean, sorry, like, I worded that crazy. SJM isn't done. So, like, how, like, you need people to sign up for, like, fucking 10
plus years, probably.
Yeah, like, I think it's just difficult.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm assuming, I mean, again, that could be an aspect of why. I don't know, but so we'll talk about this movie, I guess, probably next episode, because I honestly haven't, like, researched it enough to talk confidently about it now.
Did you watch the movie for this one?
This one, yes.
Okay. Oh, so you've already seen the movie, too?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I was actually thinking of Sunrise, sorry. But I want to, like, look into the casting on that one, because people are excited. Like, it's like...
Well, so am I. What the hell?
Yeah, I know, it's good. I don't know when, like, the release date is, whatever.
Probably next year, I would assume.
Something, yeah. But yeah, so just so you guys know, that's
Damn, she dropped a book and got a movie deal right after. Good for her.
She's chill because she's already established.
Yo, Suzanne Collins, goat. She's goated for sure.
Yeah, no, she's fantastic. So, those are kind of things that are at play. How we're going to read it, and we're going to talk about our differences of the experience reading it chronologically versus, like, kind of out of order, but just that emotional impact of that. And then also... we probably will have some bonus episode, like, movie type things. And then as far as our recording format, we're going to do, each book is 2 parts. Pretty straightforward and easy. So for this episode, again, we're doing the first book chronologically, which is The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. And I also love Suzanne Collins. God forbid
you were about to say Colleen Hoover.
Kill me where I sit. The reason I also love Suzanne Collins is she gives you parts, so it's so much easier for us to split things up.
Oh, I love it.
So this episode is going to cover part 1 and 2 of this book, which is chapters 1 through 20, pages 1 through 320. I honestly forget the names of each part, which is not a big deal. I'm sure as I flip, I'll find them. But yeah, it's part 1 and 2 of this book. The next episode is just part 3. I also love having parts because it's, like, a very, like, distinct divide of what's going on in the book, and that makes me happy. It tickles the itch in my brain. So, that's what we're doing for this book. Now, again, we're going to cover this series in regards to... my animals are crazy.
That's great.
In regards to, like, that you've read the main trilogy, so we're not gonna, you know, acting like you don't know what's going on. Okay?
Okay.
Alright, so we have our iced coffees now.
And we're back.
And we are going to tell you about this book. That's it.
Let's just fucking get into it.
Yeah. Okay, so basically, I actually forgot when I started this book that it was, like, the 10th Hunger Games. You know what I'm saying? Like, I, like, kind of picking it back up was, like, I knew it was like his year, essentially. Coriolanus, is that how you say his name?
First of all, I hate his name because Coriolanus is such a mouthful, but I appreciate that they just call him Corio.
Corio? Yeah.
Yeah. But every time I feel like it's such, like, just, like moshed in my head. I'm
gonna call him Corio also.
Yeah.
Even though only his friends call him that, but we are his friends. So basically, if you guys know nothing about...
Well, what games are they on in the trilogy? 40?
No, 75 was the quarter quell.
Holy shit.
Yeah, because
Snow's old in the movie.
Yeah.
In the books, too. Yeah, I forgot about that.
So I think, okay, so that's what
he's like an old man.
So this is the 10th Hunger Games. Mm-hmm. Sunrise on the Reaping is the 50th Hunger Games.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
which is Haymitch's.
Yeah.
And then it's like the 74th and the 75th for Katniss.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Wow. It's almost a century she spans this.
Yeah. It's well done.
I didn't know that part. That's good to know.
So yeah, so if you guys know nothing about any of this, basically it's President Snow's, like, origin story.
It's the origin of the villain.
Right. Which I liked having.
This is a true villain story right here.
Yeah, but I appreciated having this.
Yeah.
So, this is different than if you have read the Hunger Games, like, the whole extravagant vibe of it, whatever. Mm-hmm. This is, like, picking up this book and, like, the vibe of the Hunger Games, I was like, God damn, like, this is, like, a low-budget situation.
Yeah, but, like, I felt like that was just, like, on brand.
Yeah.
For art. Like, all the books were like that when we were younger. So, like, I didn't feel like it was, like, what the... You know?
No.
Because it was kind of... That dystopian was very big.
Yes. And, like, I miss, like, the dystopian era, honestly.
Yes.
But basically, Corio is a mentor. So, he's in, like, the academy. And they're trying to get, like, people to care about the Hunger Games. The war just ended, like, 10 years ago or so.
Yeah.
So they've had the Hunger Games as a way to repay and kind of get payback at the districts for the uprising. Mm-hmm. But, like, no one watches the Hunger Games, whatever. So this year they have this new idea to have mentors and kind of get the people to, like, look and take stock in, like, what's going on. Mm-hmm. So this is, like, kind of the also origin of the Hunger Games that we know and love as the original trilogy.
Well, yeah, because I feel like this book goes into, not depth, but it explains why they do certain things. Like, I remember in the main trilogy, like, reading that, like, how fucked up, like, you have to watch these people kill each other.
Right.
You have to.
And, like, the betting aspect and sending gifts.
Yeah.
But, like, now it made sense.
Yes.
So...
To see, and especially to see, like, where they were and how, like, everything with the war and stuff, like, when Corio talks about all that.
Yeah.
Wild.
And I also think it was just, again, like, this is going to be a series that we probably don't have many qualms with and geek out over because it's, like, nostalgic and it's also just objectively well done. Mm-hmm. I love, like, this tract for, like, where we end up. This makes sense. Like, I love how she backtracked and, like, explained, like, how the Hunger Games became the Hunger Games. Like,
I also...
Why it's this big spectacle and, like, why they bring them to the Capitol and wine and dine them. Mm-hmm. Like...
I wonder if she's gonna come out with a book about, like, the war itself.
I wouldn't be opposed to that.
You know? But also, too, I find... Okay, I haven't read Sunrise yet. Mm-hmm. And it's been probably 10 plus years since I've read
The
Hunger Games. But I do think this book reads slow. So,
yeah, and I agree with you that it reads slow. I've heard that Sunrise is like the original trilogy. Like,
nice.
sucks you in. Like,
Okay,
devastating,
cool.
whatever.
Yeah.
Again, I've actually avoided spoilers, so I really don't know anything that happens.
Yeah, I know very little.
I agree this reads slow, but, like, I think for a prequel, I'm, like, eating it up still. Like, it reads slow.
Yeah.
But I'm enjoying every second of it, like, genuinely.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, as opposed to Powerless, I'm thinking about it when I'm not reading. Like, I know when I'm picking it up and reading it. Yeah, I think I know when I pick it up and read it, it's going to be, like, slow. I'm probably going to read, like, 3 chapters, but I'm like, ooh, I want to read later.
Yeah.
You know? Because I'm enjoying what's going on.
Yeah.
And so basically, he's, like, what, probably 18?
Yeah, he's, like, young.
Like, senior in high school.
18, yeah.
So, he's been chosen as one of the mentors. Now, his background is his family was one of the esteemed families.
Yeah, one of the big capital families. Because his dad was, like, a general or something, right?
Right. But then they've lost all their money in the war because they had a lot of their business in District 13, which I thought was so crazy.
Yeah, and then his dad dies.
Right. So it's like, it's him and his grandma and is Tigress his cousin?
Yeah. And also, okay.
She's in the main trilogy.
Tigress?
Yes.
What is she?
I think she's, like, in book 3. Like, she was, like, a seamstress and shit. Remember she had, like, all those, like, tattoos on her face?
Yeah.
So I'm, like, yeah. I forget exactly, but she was, like, a side character who was, like, a lot of plastic surgery, like, relevant. So I forget the exact details of, like, what she did, honestly, but, like, I'm pretty sure, yeah, like, she's...
Interesting.
Yeah, mm-hmm.
Well, also, too, I think there's definitely a big change, just thinking movie-wise, because it's just easier to visually go off of what I remember.
Okay.
In the main trilogy, they're, like, the capital is, like, very, you know, extreme in their...
Extravagant,
yeah, you know, blue lipstick with fucking
bird's
bird's nest hair, like, crazy shit, right? But in this book, they're not like that.
No. They're still wealthy and, like... But, like, more, like, suits, refined dresses.
Yeah. Like, I felt like this was, like, more modern.
I just feel like it's because at the point where Katniss comes into it, they have, like, fuck you wealth. So, yeah, you are trying all that crazy shit and stuff.
And it's almost...
They're
like
so
far removed from the war, that's why.
Right. Which I kind of like that progression as well.
Yeah, because here they're still in, like, the fallout, really.
Right. So they're, like, still wealthier than the districts, but, yeah. So, I think it's so well done.
Wait, but also, I think the absence of tech in this series is very, very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
elaborate. Because, you know, again, there is a progression from this book to the main trilogy, obviously.
Like, okay, obviously, you know, they have, you can call in and do the bets, and so, like, they still have technology, but it's not like our society with technology.
Right.
You know, they're not on phones, they don't have social media.
Yeah.
And I think that's very interesting to see, like, an advanced society without all that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not really high tech in that sense.
No.
Like, the games have, at Katniss's point, become high tech. Because...
And the biology, too.
Right.
They're fucking mixing birds with cats.
Right. And,
you
like,
know?
making these hybrids and all this stuff. Yeah, but I agree. I actually like that is missing.
Yes.
Like, I like the technology in the sense, you could tell it's a futuristic society in the sense, like, there's the holograms in the main trilogy, Hunger Games, and the way the drones come in and all this stuff. Yeah. It's, like, a high-tech operation. Like, the building of the arenas and all this stuff. But it's not, like, cell phones and, like, tablets.
But then, like, also it's confusing because in the book they say that because of the war, they've been set back.
Correct.
So, like, when they're in the actual Hunger Games, like, the drones are kind of, like, confused in the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, they're not working right.
Right. And because this is the first year they're doing drones and stuff. And so what I think was interesting, too, is, like, basically the whole premise of this book is Corio is trying to...
He wants to win the Hunger Games so he can get a scholarship
to the university
because he's broke.
He can't pay for it, but, like, he needs to almost, like,
save face.
Front, that he's rich, and then make a name for himself to then be rich and, like, have no one realize there was, like, a lapse in that.
Well, yeah, which I think is crazy. Corio as a character is very, very interesting.
Yeah, and I think
I feel like he...
So I'm also getting, like, narcissist.
Yes.
Which comes off more when he meets Lucy.
So, okay, so this is the thing. I was watching this booktuber. Oh, what the fuck is her name? I can't remember. Alexis, I think.
Okay.
Was it her, maybe? I don't know. But she was saying that, like, people were way, like, too deep in, like, the romanticization of Coreo in this book.
Oh, yeah. See, and I'm almost not the opposite.
I'm completely the opposite.
Okay, I was gonna say, like, I feel like
he is the problem. He is the villain.
Yes, he's giving red flags the whole time.
Yes. Like, he's like the dangerous narcissist.
Correct. And I will say...
Not narcissist, like, characteristics. Like, no, he is.
Yes. And I also will say... We'll talk more about that next week for part 3, because that becomes, like, very...
Apparent, yeah.
Apparent once that whole plot gets going.
Yeah. At
this part... I think it's, like, a nice build-up of his character. You do feel a little bad for him, because, like, they are poor. He is trying his best.
I feel like so the first 2 parts of this book, I feel like the way that he is, you can almost write it off.
Yes.
Because he's just trying to, you know, do what he needs to do so he can get to the school.
Correct.
Essentially.
Correct.
And, like, honestly...
Fine.
I'm sure most people would act very similar to how he was.
Fine.
But it's the little nuances in the things that he says and, like, his thoughts that you're like,
And part 3.
And then, so when you go to part 3, and then you're like, no.
We'll point that out this episode, but, like, put a cap in it kind of for next week, because I think it becomes very prevalent. But, yes, there are the little nuances. And I think I also really like this book, and I think it was very creative, that he's in school, and that the Hunger Games also for the kids are, like, a class project. And they're writing papers and stuff like that, because... And I
like,
also,
what a shit show.
I also really, really like... the fact that Sejanus exists, that character who's like, this is wrong, like, what are we doing? I like that she has someone like that. Like, I think he's our reality tester.
Yeah, but he's the minority, which is crazy.
Well, correct, because they're capital kids. So, like, you're already having this, like, dissonance of capital and districts, even way back when this is, like, not even how bad it is when we meet Katniss.
Oh my god. And there's so many good, like, one-liners about, like, humanity and shit in this book. Real good.
And that's why I'm getting way ahead of myself. But when I read it, I didn't particularly like Mockingjay. Like, as, like, a young adult.
Yeah.
Now...
Because it was, like, boring.
Correct. But now, being an adult and, like, also realizing that she does... have, like, a political undertone that's like, very subtle. I'm curious how that book will read as an adult.
Well, so I feel like this is what's crazy, right? So, for example, you have... This is just how, like, I think of things. So this book is aimed for young adults, right? So, obviously, when you're a child and you're reading this, you're just reading it for face value, right? But then, as an adult, we could still read it and then realize how much underneath it has,
Which is
right?
what young adult books should be.
Yeah.
And again, and this is young adult in the sense of it's not ultra graphic, there is no sex scenes, it is a true young adult book, but she is like an artist in the sense of it is artfully done where you can read it as a middle schooler. I read The Hunger Games the first time when I was in 8th grade, ate that shit up, this dystopian, fun, kind of savage, brutal world where you can get main morals and messages like, wow, they're putting kids to die, and it was like you could comprehend it. But then going back and reading it as an adult, I speculate, and I am pretty confident in saying that, like, it's gonna pack way more of a punch with those same messages, but it's still relevant in adulthood. That's what these books should be doing.
It's just crazy. I mean, and that's why that's why these books are like cult favorites, right?
Yeah.
Because of that.
And it's warranted.
Yeah.
I think now, again, we just talked about in this series the lack of social media and stuff. I think it's great to spread awareness, spread the word about new series coming out and stuff. I will say I think we're a bit lax with what books go viral and stuff.
It's very...
What's the weight behind it? It's very like trends, like quick moving.
Yeah.
They don't like hold the test of time.
Clickbait.
This does.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be back with this. I will say I think like ACOTAR and stuff like that will probably hold the test of time if she stops being a sellout. Like I think that...
What's the opposite of a sellout?
Whatever Suzanne Collins is doing. Because she'll wait fucking 10 motherfucking years and she's like, hey, I don't like some of the things going on in the world today, I'm gonna write another book and make it still relevant and think it out. So whatever Suzanne Collins is the opposite of a sellout. Good for this bitch. And she's making mad money anyways.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I just think, again, we're gonna be... This is probably one of the only episodes, this span of 10 episodes, that we're not gonna be haters.
Seriously.
Which, again, is that a testament that we're cynical asshole bitches? Or are these books just...
The corn factor is just so high in so many books right now.
But again, everything is fast moving. We have all these limited series on Netflix that are 6 episodes. Like, nothing... I watch things or read things and forget it the next day.
Well, it's because it's all... Okay, this is now becoming... This is not a book podcast anymore. It's because all our attention spans are so short. It's all for the dopamine hit, you know?
Right, that's what I'm saying. I feel like this, again, like... This is not a book. I haven't... So I think I read...
and that's why we're like, oh, read slow.
Right.
You know? Because we're not being...
But again, think about, like, old series, right?
Yeah.
Like The Sopranos. You had filler episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I never watched The Sopranos.
It was good. I just watched it for the first time, so I'm not even like, how dare you? Because I also just watched it for the first time. But you know what I'm saying? Like, or Lost. Like...
Never seen that either.
Also, ending gets weird, but, like, worth the watch.
Okay.
But all those, like, I guess, long-term... spanning years shows, there's filler episodes.
It's in Lost like 20 seasons.
No, it's like 8 or 9.
Oh.
I mean, it's
so what am I thinking of? I always think of that of Survival's like 20 seasons.
Well, Lost
and that's
is also
real.
like...
Lost is fake, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And Lost also is like 21 episodes. Like, so it's, I mean, you know, it's hefty. My point is
okay, yes.
This book, right? Parts read slow. Fine.
Yeah.
Those shows, there was filler episodes. Because it wasn't like you didn't have to have something going on
all the time.
Yeah, like your attention span. Okay, you watched one week and you're like, this was okay.
Yeah.
But then next week was probably great. Like, you needed to set plot up.
Exactly.
Like, which this book does a great job of. So I don't know. I just feel like I think I read the main trilogy when this book came out a few years ago again.
Oh, you did?
I think I did. I have to check my Goodreads.
I did not.
Or maybe I read like only like the Hunger Games after. Like I might have just done like this, then the Hunger Games.
I just fucking freeballed that one.
Yeah.
Without remembering anything.
I have to look at my Goodreads. I'm like mixed. That could be a lie. But I don't know. I just feel like my point is why I'm even saying that that's relevant is these were not books where like you forget the main character's name. Like,
no, you remember everything.
Yes. So it's like there's a reason for that. I don't know. Again, we went off on a fucking tangent, but like this is I think so important. Like for good series.
Base your writing off of this.
Or just, like, put the work in. Like I said, like...
Damn.
She went back and wrote President Snow's origin, and it all made sense. She laid the groundwork why the Hunger Games looked like that in the main series. And she could have not done that, and I wouldn't have questioned it, because it was such a great, like, concept. But, like, it all makes sense, too. So, like, again, President Snow, at this point, Corio, he's a student. It's almost like a school project.
Yeah.
And I also liked the idea of... He has this,
Do you have a favorite in this book?
I'll get there. I think.
Okay.
Maybe. He has this professor, or whatever, the head game maker, Dr. Gall, who's a psycho. But she's giving him assignments, like, hey, like, think of creative, like, fresh mind ways to, like, get people engaged or things to do.
Yeah.
And I also really like that the way the games are for the 74th and 75th Katniss era, a lot of those, like, were President Snow's ideas, which is crazy. Like, he's writing papers and, like, again...
What did you like most about the war?
Right.
Which is crazy.
Right.
What did you like about the war?
But I think it's also interesting as a concept, right? In the sense of they're probably worth things.
It's such the antithesis of,
and,
you know...
And that almost, which probably is why this book was around that time, that could also open a whole discussion of, like, what did you like about COVID? Objectively, that was fucked up in our society, but we were getting unemployment, we were off, we had time to have hobbies. That also highlighted the work-life balance, like people work from home now. So, like, again, I forget when this book was published, but if that is around COVID times, that's interesting.
I think it was probably like 2022.
Let me check.
Bro, you can literally just open the book.
Whatever.
To the publication page. Oh, 2020. Look how quick that was.
Okay, but so what month did it say?
No, it just says 2020.
So, but it probably COVID-ish, right? Like maybe.
Well, she definitely wrote it before COVID.
Correct. Okay. But that's interesting that could tie together.
Well, she probably wrote Sunrise during COVID, I would assume.
That'd be interesting too. But I guess my point is just having these like tiny little nuances and things like to open discussion. Like, objectively, that assignment was fucked up. Mm-hmm. What do you like about the war? But then also it's like, yeah, like there probably were things that they liked. Again, little trivial things. Yeah. But like,
well, and that's the thing, right? So I forget what it was. Was it that prompt maybe? And he wrote about
he did write about stupid trivial things.
Yeah, but then at the end he wrote about Control. Mm-hmm. And I think Dr. Gall knows that he is what he is, who he is.
Yeah, she sees him, but she loves it.
Okay, yeah. So, unpopular opinion, Dr. Gall is my favorite character.
But I...
hands down, my favorite.
I don't think she's my favorite, but I think that as a character, I'm you're a great character.
I just like that she knows she's the villain, she's a villain, and she's not afraid to show it.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, do we even, I guess
let's just, not go, this happened. Let's just, chat about it. Because I know, usually when we record, we kind of have an idea of, how the other feels.
Yeah.
About the book. But we haven't talked at all about this book. Except for the fact that we said that it, read slow. I remember texting you saying, oh, it's reading slow.
I'll probably organize my thoughts in chronological.
Which is fine.
In the sense of just, how I felt when we met Lucy. So I'm going to start there.
Okay.
Because...
Lucy Gray.
Yeah. So, again, I gave, background. So, his district person that he gets the girl from District 12, which is objectively the worst thing. The poorest district gets the girl,
It's always District 12,
he's almost a slap in the face. And it's because, the dean has it out for him, whatever.
Well, he, literally says, can I, something, there's, a one-liner, and it's, why does everything always, not turn out the way I need it to, or something
Correct.
Like that.
Which, again, a little narcissistic. But
okay, pity me, whatever.
Mm-hmm. So he gets this girl, Lucy Gray. Now, when she comes on stage and she's singing, dancing, throws a snake in the other girl's dress, whatever, yeah. I was intrigued. She's already giving,
spunky.
Almost Katniss, level of spunk, rebellion.
But Katniss was different.
She's not, Lucy Gray's a little strange.
She's more outward, I feel.
Yeah, eccentric.
Yeah, she's not afraid to talk to the camera, whereas Katniss was get me away from here.
Right, but still almost that underlying rebellion.
Oh, yeah.
Fire. And then also, the introduction of, belonging to the Covey was interesting.
Yeah.
Which is that premise.
She's not district.
She's, a musician, a performer.
Uh-huh.
Which I think was an interesting concept going into, the Hunger Games art performance. Mm-hmm. So, she would do well. Not as far as, the physical brutality. Yeah, but,
she'll put on a show.
And I think she also inspired him to make them more of a show. That's where his ideas come from.
Yeah.
Because it was almost just the person she was incited that.
Mm-hmm.
I do find it interesting, which I think it's also, makes sense, that, he, falls, quote-unquote, in love with her, or, mutual.
He doesn't fall in love with her.
He doesn't, but I'm saying, that was interesting. Thing. I'm glad that he got the girl, kind of thing. I'm glad it was, this, romance, but then there was, the notion of, is it control, is it actual love? What is the dynamic here? As opposed to him, getting, a guy tribute. I think that was a nice layer.
Yeah.
And it put, personal stakes in it for him. Even though he, I agree, is not probably in love, and it's, more of a control thing. Yeah. I think the fact that he's not aware of that is, it's fun.
Yeah. Well, what's interesting is that, it's very quite obvious that Corio is, a narcissist. But, no one else really sees it? Because he's pretty popular.
I think
he doesn't really have problems with anyone.
I think I agree he's narcissistic, but I think it's almost that entitlement. Because he grew up in a wealthy family. Which I think probably does make you feel entitled.
Mm-hmm. But they lost their money when he was young.
think they were like all like 8 when the war was happening.
Yeah, and then his dad died a little bit after.
So like you're still used to think about like the spoiled rich kid growing up.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
It probably does make him narcissistic.
But it's confusing that nobody knows that he's poor.
Agreed.
Like, how does nobody know?
I think because they're managing to keep the house, the penthouse, and I said I don't let anyone come over. Yeah. I said my grandma's sickly, whatever.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Also, his grandmother, mad fucking weird. Did you notice in the book it's always the grandmam?
I love that.
It always says the grandmam.
I'm obsessed with that.
Like, it's not like, oh, grandmam made this rose. It was always the grandmam and her roses.
She's esteemed.
There's always a thought in front of it.
She's the one and only, baby.
So interesting.
Yeah. I didn't notice that, but that's interesting. But again, I will die on this fucking hill. Good writing, put weird little shit like that, where it's like, you're making a vibe. Like, adding a the, like, she
never forget it now.
Right. So, I don't know. I think it's interesting. Again, I think it is interesting that he's poor, but I think, again, if you think of an 8-year-old, if they grow up rich their whole lives, they probably are kind of an asshole.
It's true. Also, they all have such crazy fucking names.
Crazy names, which I think that's fun. Just because, like, it's so capital,
Okay,
that's, like, what started that, I feel like.
Yeah. Like,
their bullshit.
Hilarious.
Yeah. I don't want to be them.
What was the other one? Clemencia.
Like, yeah, there's weird. They're almost, like, Greek-ish. Not, but they're, like, almost,
Yeah. Oh,
they
yeah. Actually, now that you're saying that.
Yeah. I wonder if there's, like, a reason. We'll have to look it up. What I also thought was fun, but also almost shows his narcissism, is, like, the fact that, again, it's, like, narcissism coupled with, like, entitlement. Mm-hmm. Like, when they were like, hey, like, go, like...
entitlement is a part of narcissism.
Well, right, that's what I'm saying. So it's, like, ties together. So I don't know, like, which particular attribute I'm going for, but whatever. But, like, and I kind of like this. I like his character for this reason.
Yeah.
Is, like, when he's given Lucy Gray, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna go meet her at the train station. And, like, like he just feels like, oh, nothing could happen to me. Like...
Yeah.
Like, it's just fun. And, like... I like his internal dialogue. Like, he is nervous, but he's, like, portraying this, like...
The internal dialogue is crazy.
Unflappable...
That's how you do internal monologue.
Right. But he's coming off as this unflappable whatever. Mm-hmm. So that's the thing where it's hard... Where
like, he's always got it together.
Yes.
Very proper.
And that's why I think it's almost like the narcissist thing is, like, debated the first 2 parts of this book, because it's, like, you are getting his genuine, I'm nervous, I'm scared, and you feel bad for him.
Yeah.
But it's, like... I don't know. There's so many layers to him.
Mm-hmm. Especially when the games do start.
Yeah.
And, like, him and Lucy, like, actually grow so much together in that short amount of time.
They kiss before she goes in. I mean...
And I feel like that there is when he was, like... He almost, like, I think confuses his feelings of the control versus love. Mm-hmm. Like, you know how people are like, oh, you confuse love and lust? I think he confuses love and control.
Agreed.
Because he wants to control her. He was like, my, what did he say? My...
Like, tribute?
Yeah.
Like,
she's mine. Like, he says that multiple times.
And, again, not to get ahead of ourselves, but we'll notice, which we'll touch back on this in part 2, or next episode, when he's not in control of her, things start going to shit.
Yeah.
Which is so interesting. And again, but here's my thing too, so as much as, like, how I feel similarly about, like, Dr. Gall and Corio, even in the Hunger Games, obviously he's the villain, but, like, he's a great character, objectively.
Yeah.
Like, he's a good character, and, like, the fact that he has all this depth is, like, some villains are just villains, and, like, there's, like, a little bit, like, oh, like, my love was killed, and it's just, like, there's a reason, but it's not, like, this is, like, a long, explained out story reason of why he is the way he is, but it's, like, it makes sense, there's depth, like, there's a lot to him, so, like, they're objectively just, like, good characters, which is so fun. I also think it's interesting, again, like, it's, like, he's nervous, but he almost feels like he, as much as he's, like, fronting that unflappable nature, like, he also kind of does feel like he can't be touched.
Yeah. Well, because I feel like maybe it's been so long. You know what I mean? Like, it's always turned out in his favor.
Like, more or less.
More or less. Like, obviously the external factors suck. Mm-hmm. But, like, he still... Snow lands on top.
Right. Yeah.
I think that tells you everything you need to know.
Correct.
And I think it's so interesting that is always, like... Their answer.
Right.
Like, to Tigress, he says it. I think the Grandman, he says it to her.
I think they say it to each other. I think it's kind of like they're almost like morale booster.
Yeah.
And then, then again, aside for his development, I think just the development of the games, right? Like, we just mentioned in the beginning, how it's like a low budget function. So like they get these district kids, they're like held in like monkey cages. They're being starved to death. Half of them die before.
Stored at the zoo.
Right. They're dying before the games even start.
Feeding them, yeah.
Half of them. So then like the fact that he has this idea of like, in a brutal nature, to say, well, they can't kill each other effectively if we're not feeding them. And again, like this is like, oh, that's why they do this extravagant thing before like the 74th or 75th Hunger Games. Like, you know, he's bringing her snacks and like he's doing it in the sense of...
Well, he's taking this very seriously.
Yeah, because he wants to...
For
selfish notion.
Well, yeah, but I think he almost looks at it as a terms of survival for him. Like, I think he's almost, like, convinced himself.
Yeah.
You know?
But I think that's where it's so amazing having that character of Sejanus as, like, his, like, parallel but not.
Yeah.
So, like, he's giving Lucy Gray food and, like, going out of his way and all this stuff because he's like, I need to win these games to get to the university.
Yeah.
To, like, and having all these calculated thoughts of, like, what he needs to do. Whereas you do have that direct contrast of Sejanus doing, quote-unquote, the same things, bringing food, but being like, this is barbaric. Not once does Snow...
Yeah.
Well, until he starts liking her. But even then, it's not, like...
He's not very outward.
And it's not, like, devastation. Like, Sejanus is, like... having outbursts, doesn't care what the capital think of him because he's like, I don't agree with this.
He's not capital.
Right.
He's district.
But it's like, again, I like how they're doing similar things, and it's almost like Sejanus, that's why he's Corio's friend, because like, he like agrees with me.
Yeah.
No, he fucking doesn't.
He doesn't, but Corio doesn't also outwardly say that he agrees with the games either. Like, even in his internal monologue.
Right.
So I feel like that is another reason why you kind of don't know, because he doesn't outwardly say that, oh, like, the districts deserve this, but he also doesn't say, like, why are we doing it, you know?
He plays the game. Because,
he plays the game, yeah.
When Sejanus freaks out, he's like, don't do that, you know?
Well, he plays both sides of the fence.
Right.
And that's the problem.
Right.
Because they're, you know, that's what, you know, this is not a narcissism 101 class,
well,
but...
part of it is he's playing both sides of the fence because it's like, he's waiting out and saying, like, I need all my doors open.
Yeah.
It's going to benefit me.
Yeah.
So which one is it? So, for example, the games start, and, like, again, this was, which I thought was interesting, a little tidbit. I thought it was fun that, like, Caesar Flickerman's ancestor is, like, the first, like, talk show ever. So this is Lucky. So this is the first Hunger Games. They're having, like, interviews, all this stuff. So, of course, we go through all that, which I think is just interesting to read for the development purposes of it. But then the games start, whatever. And what I want to touch on this point, going into the thought we just had, is that Sejanus breaks into the arena to, like, help whatever, that kid Marcus that ran away. They, like, hung him, like, crucified.
Because Marcus was his district.
Right.
They grew up together.
So they're watching the Hunger Games. Corio sees Sejanus. And again, he's playing both sides of the fence. Dr. Gall and like, well, that's your friend. And he's like, you know, not really.
Yeah.
But then again, even though he doesn't agree with...
But then Sejanus is like, you're my only friend.
Right. And then when he goes in,
like,
they make him go and rescue him, which he's pissed about. He's like, I don't want to fucking die for this dumbass guy.
Yeah.
You know, he's talking to him, and I forgot the conversation they had. Like, I was waiting for him to go in and be like, hey, like, they're not even letting me out until you come, like, let's go, and appeal to that part of it. But he didn't do that. He literally was like, it is barbaric, I don't agree. Like, playing that up, and it's like...
Well, because Sejanus went in there to die.
Right.
He was like, there's no hope. He was like, let me just die in the
My
games.
thing is because Sejanus really feels like they're actual friends, I feel like if he was like, hey, they're not letting me out until I get you out, like, he would have done that.
Yeah.
I just thought it was crazy that, again, doesn't care about his actual feelings, was like saying what he knew he wanted to hear.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not fair. Yeah. You gotta get out of here and fight for them.
Yeah, the very strong notion of right and wrong, right? The morale.
And again,
morality.
like, I think why it's so hard in part 1 or 2 getting Snow's character is because, like, I think he's bullshitting all the time.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what he's saying. So, like, what is your true north? And I think that's where Lucy Gray comes into it, because you're like, maybe those are true feelings. Now that he, like, personally is invested in, like, a romantic interest.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll try to see, like, actually how he feels about something. But I think even that's bullshit. So it's like...
Yeah. I will say the first time I read the book, I didn't think he was as bad as I did the second time around. Mostly because I read it, like I said, off the rip. I forget a lot of things that happened in Hunger Games and stuff like that, but I knew he was the bad guy, obviously. So when there were those moments that are kind of inconclusive, like, oh, is he being, facetious right now, or like, is he actually feeling this way? But I wasn't like, oh yeah, Snow's a good guy. I always knew Snow, I was like, maybe he's not as bad. But this time around, I was like, yeah, not from the get. There was so much I picked up on.
Not that I think he's even like, I get what you're saying. I almost don't feel that way, like, that strongly of like, oh, he's the bad guy. I think I'm just enjoying, like, almost, like, his, like, complex psychology. Like, I'm just, like, this is so fun to read, and, like...
Well, because he truly is just looking out for himself. Like, 100%.
Right.
Like, every decision is motivated on his survival.
Right. And it's just fun to read. Like...
It's crazy.
Because there
this
is
a
that...
side project.
Yeah. And again, like, I don't know. And again, like I said, I think, aside from the psych project that is President Snow, and, like, why he is the way he is, in the main trilogy... I think it is fun, again, to see the development of, like even the arena. They have it in the same fucking arena every year. And, like, it got bombed when they went to go tour it, and they were like, well, we're still gonna have it there. Like, whereas...
Which recreates a whole new arena.
Right. And I think that, again, the bombing, like, a subtle thing of, oh, it made a new arena. That was fun. So now, 74 and 75, they're making a new one every year. Like...
Yeah.
Not that was, like, a direct correlation, but you're kind of like... They probably got the idea of it. Like, so I think all those little details were just, like, fun to read about. But then he is just interesting. So I think this is one of those books where, how we were saying with Powerless, or any series we've read, oh, I like the romantic part of it, or I like the character development, but, like, not a lot of plot going on. I feel like this book does such a good job of, like, all these little plot details leading up to the series we know and love, but then also this crazy, like, psych project of character development.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I mean, also, too, the war is mentioned, like, every other page in this book. And he always relates everything back to because of the war, because of the war, because of the war. So, I don't know about you, but me personally, I remember, like, I didn't think the war was as bad as they made it out in this book. So obviously...
Because they are so far removed, probably, in the main trilogy.
Yeah, I guess, because the capital is still... they've obviously, like, restored it. And so it always just seemed that, like, it was just, like, a little, like, we're gonna beat you, and, like, the capital was just, like, stomp.
Right.
Whereas, like, the districts actually gave them a run for their money.
Right, and he's talking about when he's younger, the cannibalism going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, but again... You have to not remember, but, like...
The rabies. The rabies rampant.
We have to realize, too, again, Katniss's timeline, point of view.
Yeah.
I combine both those phrases, whatever. She wasn't alive in the war.
Yeah.
These kids lived during the war. So, like, it does make sense. Like, you hear about... Same thing. I don't know the timeline of whatever, but you hear about, like, World War II and whatever. Like, you don't... Some people alive, like grandparents and stuff, like...
We're alive during the
war. We're alive, so I'm sure they feel much differently than we do. Like, learning about it.
Yeah, like, their immediate people, like, fought in the war and stuff.
Or, like, even, which, like, freaks me the fuck out, is, like, working with my students, and, like, they'll, like, talk about 9/11, like, oh, this thing that happened in history. And I was like, we were, like...
Oh, yeah.
Like, so, like, that. Like, you have this dissonance of, like, you didn't experience it. So, like, you know it's fucked up.
Yeah.
But, like, of course you're far
removed. It's real, but not real to you.
Right, like, you didn't experience it. And, like, we were so young, we barely remember. But it was, like, the aftermath was, like, very much, like, a thing. Where I was like, yeah, like...
Because everything changed after that.
Correct. So I think that's also part of it, too, is, like, he's explaining it because he's like, I can tell you the cannibalism stories, personal point of view, like, what I saw.
Yeah.
Katniss probably could imagine that happened, but doesn't, like... No.
Yeah. And besides, like, she's survived, like, fighting for her life every day, basically.
Yeah, she thinks we're fucked up. I don't care about you guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, and so I think what's interesting and kind of to end this, like, part, he's, like, so desperate to win, again, looking out for himself, not the desperation to keep her alive. They, yes, happen to be
the two goal, are intertwined.
But he cheats. And so I enjoyed that whole plot point.
Oh my god, wait. So the ending of part 2, right? You get all this crazy shit, you know, everything that's happened in parts 1 and 2. For it to literally end with him walking up to go to Dr. Gall's room and just Dean Highbottom sitting there. And literally it just goes... The meeting could not have lasted more than 5 minutes. Afterward, as agreed, Coriolanus headed directly to the recruitment center where he became Pan Am's newest, if not shiniest, peacekeeper. All of that just be like, yep, and then he signed up for the Peace Corps, or whatever, peacekeeper.
But yeah, basically. Yeah. So that was crazy.
I remember
and that's wow. That's like a very definitive, like...
Yes. So abrupt.
Okay, so I have 2 thoughts on this.
So abrupt.
Yeah. First of all, I want to talk about... Well, how he cheated, I guess, but the whole, like, Dr. Gall and the snakes. Because that's a fun plot point.
Love.
So let's go with that first.
Also, I love that... What's her name? Fiona Davis?
Who?
The one who plays Dr. Gall in the movie.
Oh, okay. Maybe...
Viola Davis?
Maybe Viola.
She's the one who played in How to Get Away with Murder.
Yeah.
I love her.
Yeah,
like, she was one of my favorite actresses.
Yeah, she was good in that.
And she was so good.
She was
so good in the movie.
Okay, so what do you think about the snakes? Let's talk about them for a second. Then I have a thought about...
So this is what I'm saying. Okay?
Him.
The technology's not where it needs to be, but they're making hybrid fucking snakes that can regenerate immediately.
Right. So I think again, like
interesting.
Just the idea of them is so creative, and I also like how they were introduced. So like...
Well, yeah, and they also talk about the Mockingjays. In this one.
Right. So
and they're like, what's a Mockingjay?
Right. So I like, okay, number 1, I like how with one of the paper assignments they had, Corio had a partner, he just did the paper, but it was like a fucked up kind of idea, right? Like it was almost like a little narcissistic vibe.
Well, so that paper was how can they get the people more involved in the games?
Okay, right. And so
it's him, Clemencia, and what's the other girl's name? Arachnia or some shit like that?
I don't even know. But Clemencia's a relevant one because
her name sounds like a spider. That's just what I remember, I think.
Arachne?
Maybe.
Whatever, but fine.
Whatever.
But so, like, they call them to the lab, and he's like, oh yeah, we did it together, whatever. And these snakes, apparently...
They're like all in this giant...
And they're like neon...
Yeah, like neon colors, and they're all just like slithering.
Yeah, like I imagine like a huge vat. And so she's like, "Oh, do you like both genuinely write this paper kind of thing?" And he was like, yeah, like whatever.
And she's just like slowly explaining like about the snakes.
Right, but they only won't bite you
if they recognize your scent.
So Dr. Gall had dropped the paper into the vat. And so she found out, like, that Corio wrote it by himself, and these were, like, his original ideas.
Because she told Clemencia to put her hand in the snake pit to get it.
Which, that was crazy, too, because then they bit her, then she started, like, getting scales, like, in the hospital. Like,
yeah,
that was, like,
she was turning into a snake herself.
Crazy plot point. So now these snakes come back into, like, the finale.
And nobody knows.
Right.
Yeah, nobody knows about this, but Corio and Dr. Gall.
It's all, this whole book is very, like, nefarious and, like, sneaky and, like, scary. Like, I'd be scared shitless. Like, it's, like, almost, like, that general idea and concept of, like, the little guy against people in power and the government, and, like, you can do nothing about it. Like, you gotta just feed into whatever they want.
Yeah, and Corio makes a point of saying, like, that to Sejanus. He's like, give it up.
Right, you're
at one point. Doesn't he say that?
Like, and I think he literally says to him kind of, I don't know if he says it in this exact tone or in these words, but says, like, they will kill you. Like, don't think that they're, like, above this.
Yeah.
Like, cut it out, dude. Like, this is not a fucking joke.
And he's just like, oh, I can't.
So now the finale of the games ends with, like, the snakes coming in, whatever, and so, weird timing, Corio was leaving the lab one of these days, saw the snakes, and was like, that's weird, so, like, dropped, like, Lucy Gray's handkerchief.
Well, because he was going somewhere, whatever.
He got called there to talk to
and
Dr. Gall, whatever.
Yeah, and they were moving the snake tank.
So he literally was like...
And he was like, that's sus.
And it was, like, in the middle of the games. So
yeah.
he was like,
so he,
just in case.
Yeah, so he stops one of the scientists and is just like, oh, like, where are these going?
And they don't tell him.
Yeah, and they, like, turn around and he just, like, drops his handkerchief in there.
Which she had, like, cried on or whatever.
Yeah.
So, is that cheating? Yes. I feel like it wasn't... I'm mixed about it because in the sense it wasn't...
Well, good for him for being smart enough to do that.
Well, that's my thing. And also, like, he didn't go to the lab knowing it and try to cheat.
Yeah.
He was kind of like...
The opportunity fell in his lap.
He was like, in cases. So I think that was interesting. Now...
Wait, can we just, like, talk real quick about, like, the games themselves?
Sure.
Because, first of all, they're in this, like, demolished arena.
And it was imagine, like, the Coliseum.
Yeah, but, like, rubble everywhere,
Yeah.
and so, like, they're all hiding, like, in the things, because there's rubble everywhere, the tunnels that run underneath. And I just think it's so... The concept of having children kill each other is just something that just will always just be fucking crazy.
Well, yes. Yes.
Like, what a distinct...
Yeah, distinct.
Like... How do you even begin to wrap your mind around that?
Right.
And so, anyway, so they start off with, was it 24? Because it's 2 from each district, right?
Yeah, but I think by the time the games start, there's like 13 only.
Yeah. So half of them, because they died.
Starving.
Yeah, whatever. And a lot of the other mentors, like, they suck.
Because
they don't give a fuck.
But again,
they don't care.
Because and I almost think that's, to me, better. Because it's like... They probably also are kind of like, it's fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that he's, like, so engaged, and again, because it's, like, the other kids have money. They're not, doesn't matter if we win. This is a weird thing you're making us do also.
Yeah.
The fact that he's, like, so in it is almost, like, more concerning.
Yeah. So, and what I think is also very interesting, now, this is, like, a parallel that you could see between, like actual reality and the book, right? So... I always think, like, how could they do this? How could you look at another human being and be like, no? You know what I mean? And I always think about that, like, in history, like, with slavery. How could you, like, think to do this to another human being?
Right.
But it's because whoever's abusing the power does not look at the other as a human.
Correct.
They don't even think the people in the district are humans like them.
And what's interesting is he understands that notion.
Yeah.
Which is why in the interviews he's like, she's not district.
Yeah.
The Covey are pretty much like us. They just ended up when the war happened in District 12.
Yeah.
But again, what's even crazier about that notion is he knows that's the way people think. So he's skewing it that way. But I don't think that he actually feels that way. Mm-hmm. He's like, oh, like, if I spin her as non-district, like... they'll like her, but, like, he also views her as very much so other and district. So it's like, again, I would almost respect you more, or, like, have some kind of compassion, is if you really felt that way.
Yeah.
But, like, you don't. Like, you're doing it, again, for, like, the, like, controlling of the people watching, like, oh, like, I know how to get them to do what I want.
Yeah.
Which is, like, a crazy thing.
Yeah. Also, what I thought was very strange was before the games begin, when Corio has, like, his last moments with Lucy, she says that, was it Reaper? Was like, I'm really sorry, I'm gonna have to kill all of you tomorrow.
Right.
I thought that was really weird, and then, like, obviously all the events happen in the arena. You have the kids from the electronic district fucking around with the drones.
Yeah.
And then, He Treach.
I think that
is that his name,
yes.
right? He ends up having rabies.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, Reaper had rabies.
Oh, Reaper had rabies. Sorry, I'm getting confused. Treach was the big brawny guy, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and fucking... Yeah, and then Corio, when he went to go in to save Sejanus, ends up killing the other...
Yeah.
Like...
It's all just barbaric.
That whole scene when he's talking to Dr. Gall about, like, what happened in the arena, like, how did he get Sejanus to get out, like... That whole conversation with Dr. Gall is crazy.
And again, I think it's just like, yeah, this is
because she was like, what did you think when you were in the arena?
Right.
And it's just like, oh my god. It's like reading like a psych session.
I think where it's different between the two of them is like Dr. Gall, like you said, knows she's the villain, like embraces it, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I think as much as Corio bullshits, like whatever, he's trying to bullshit himself.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's even almost scarier.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah. Like he's convinced himself.
Yes.
Who are you trying to convince, me or you?
Right.
And then also, too...
And that's almost more frightening.
Yeah, and he's just, like... You know, he goes to bed, he wakes up, he doesn't have food at home, so, like, he only eats, like, while he's at school, and he mentions, like, oh, it took a third helping, like, hope no one notices or something like that. But then also, too, when the whole thing with Sejanus really becomes prevalent, and his mother, like, makes all the food for Corio and sends it so, like, they're not, like, starving anymore... There's that one part after he saves Sejanus, and he was like, oh, maybe I'll just, like, walk by their apartment and see if the dad's home, and maybe, you know, just talk to him, because he'll probably want to say thank you for having me save his son, and I'll probably get, like, money from him or something.
And then is, like, genuinely shocked and almost, like, offended that, like, he didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's very interesting.
Like,
again,
what?
But this is where it's done so well. Like I said, like, he has these narcissistic traits, but then again, when he cheats, on one end you'd be like, oh, he was so desperate to win for selfish motive that he cheated, but then the way it's done, you're like, but it was coincidental, and he was desperate in his love to save her. So, like, you can almost skew it both ways, which is crazy. And that's why I think it's almost... Because, again, you're reading this from, like, his view, his mindset. I think how you pointed out how part 2 ends, I'm almost more appreciative because it's, like, they obviously call him in, they found out he cheated with, like, the mirror, the rat poison,
the poison snakes, was crazy.
Like, the snakes, like, all these things. Which, again, objectively, like, he's being smart and, like, trying to get her out of there. Whether it was for love or for selfish motive, you know,
whatever,
to be determined.
Yeah.
But I almost feel like... the way that it was written, like, now, you know, the new shiniest peacekeeper, it's almost, like, so cold because it's just, like, the gig is up. Like, he's almost, like, detached from it. Like...
He was yanked off stage.
Yeah, like, the plotting now...
Everything's over.
Right.
And he's, like, probably just happy just to be alive. Knowing Dr. Gall. Right?
But again, like, always, like, this, like, looking out for myself motive.
Like, he honestly made out pretty well.
Right.
In the end, if that's all that he is, a peacekeeper in the end.
Now, here's where, when we mentioned, like, that's how it ended, the second point I wanted to bring up.
Yes.
What I find interesting, because, again, if you're going off parts 1 and 2, his actions, his motives, narcissistic, for love, what is it? I don't know. Why, which we can talk about this more next episode and for part 3, he picks District 12.
To work at.
To be where Lucy Gray is.
Yeah.
Now, like...
But he also doesn't know if she's there, right? From what I remember.
But it's like, he's hoping. So now
Here we go again!
But that's interesting to me because it's like, you have lost a sense of control. So what's the motive here?
To regain it.
But on her? But, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're a peacekeeper. Like, you have no control. Like,
yeah, but he probably figures, like, they had this thing going on. So, like, if anything, his one semblance of control that he can take back is through her. Because he thought he really had her in the bag. Like, that's what he thinks.
Right. Or does he really have himself convinced that he loves her and has feelings for her? Like, you're like...
Yeah.
You can say either one, and I feel like he probably can say either one too, but, like, again, is him saying, oh, I'm in love with her, I'm going there? Is that his true thought, or is he bullshitting himself again, and he wants that control? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I'm curious, like, what his actual reason for picking 12 is. Like, at this point, does he feel like he loves her? I'm not sure. Because I think, again, that we will see, we'll talk about next week, like, that crumbles once they are together and there's no control.
Part 3 is so crazy.
Yeah.
Like, when he's in the district, I remember that being like, goddamn.
It's crazy.
The ending is crazy.
But at this point, does he feel like, oh, I do love her, I'm going to go see if she's okay and safe and, like, have the chance to see her again?
I don't know.
I feel like maybe.
He might have convinced himself that that's the case. I don't know.
Because I feel like, to me, what I feel like this is what's going on here is I think, again, all his actions in part 1 and 2 were like that sense of control, selfish motive. He wanted to keep her alive, but I think it was highly the overtone of keeping her alive gets me what I want.
Yeah.
I think now, until that reality gets shattered in part 3, I think where I'm gauging him is that he feels like he lost all control, and he's like, but I do love her. Okay, I'll just go live this life now. And I think he also realizes pretty quickly that's not true, and he's not that kind of person.
Yeah.
But I think at this part, even like how he's like, I'm a peacekeeper now, it's almost like not relief, but he's like, cool, the gig is up.
Interesting.
I'm free. I'm gonna go to District 12 and be with her. And again, I think that lasts a very short into part 3. But that's kind of the vibe I get. Like, I think he right now is genuinely convinced, like, damn, this sucks, didn't work out, but I'm just gonna go there for the motive of like just seeing her.
See, I don't feel that way.
What do you feel like?
I feel like he's
how it ended.
I think he's obviously like very upset about like how it ended.
Okay.
But he does mention in the book like this can go extremely wrong, and they'll probably find out that I cheated. But he writes it off as like, well, at that point, what does it matter?
Correct.
Like the games are over. We have a victor. I'm gonna go to school. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay.
So I think this is just like a setback for him, and he's just still trying to plot.
He's still calculating?
I think so.
Interesting. And again...
Because even when he's a peacekeeper, some of the stuff he said, I'm like...
Agreed. Because again, I think, in my view, what I just explained, I think that's like a very short-lived view. Like, I think it's like a few chapters into part 3. Like, I think that like reality gets shattered quickly.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Because
especially
then,
once they reunite, etc.
And
like,
then it snowballs mad fast.
Correct. So I think that's like a very short-lived part, but I think it's almost like, to me, more tragic, because he almost is like, okay, fine, like, the gig is up, I finally can, like, let go of all these years of faking being rich, and, like, the control is gone. Maybe I am a good guy who just loves her. And I think it's almost more tragic, because then it's, like, he almost proves to himself, like you're not a good guy. Like, that's not your feelings. Yeah. So that's almost, like, how I'm viewing it. But we can talk more about that next week. But I was curious, like, your ending thoughts of, like, yeah, now he's going to fucking District 12.
Yeah.
Which happened, like...
Yes.
And you're like, oh! Like, I almost was like... I read it, when I first read it, I was like, what? Like, what do you mean he's, like...
Yes.
A peacekeeper? Like, I didn't see it going that way.
Yeah, because... Well, I guess, you know, he feels like he's indestructible, so... As a reader, you also kind of get that... as well, because in every situation it's worked out for him. Whether that's luck or actual from, like, his plotting, but... Right.
And again, that's where I almost have that stance of, like, he's like, didn't work out finally. It's almost freeing that I don't need to hustle anymore to make it work out. Like, I'm just going to go make it work out with her. Like, this one genuine, quote-unquote, thing I have. Yeah. Again, I think he's bullshitted himself to thinking he really loves her. I think it's largely in part to the control aspect he had over her. But I think at this point, he doesn't realize that.
Well, and that's the problem when they get into the district and everything starts to unfold between him and Lucy. Like, he realizes that he doesn't control her.
Correct.
Which makes him want to control her more.
Correct. And that's where I think, like, he genuinely did think it was love until he was, like...
Until he picked up that shotgun and started going out in the woods looking for her.
Insane. So, yeah. So we have that to look forward to. We're going to have lots of thoughts. So clearly, again, way more animated and passionate about the series than most series we've read at all, probably. Yeah, I'm excited for next week. I can't wait to talk about him as... Yeah, that's going to be like if you thought this was psychological deep dive, wait till next week.
Just fucking wait.
Alright.
Amazing.
So we're going to pick up next week. He is headed to District 12. We'll talk his motives and all that stuff, but he's a peacekeeper now. Yep. So the games are over.
Games are done.
Alright.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Wow.
Tune in next week.
Let's see how Corio does as a peacekeeper.
Oh my god, craziness.
Craziness. Alright, we'll see you guys next week.
Bye!
Bye.